Bunch hormones run riot.
This idea dawned on me. Maureen's asleep. I would just jump into her bunk. The police come. They said, put your clothes back on. Put your clothes on and get out here.
Oh, when we continue with TV Guide, the truth behind the sitcom scandal. It would be difficult to think of a TV show more wholesome than the Brady Bunch. But what actually happened behind the scenes has all the ingredients of a Hollywood scandal. At various times, different cast members have disassociated themselves with the Brady Bunch. On this program, Maureen McCormick has declined to participate. The Brady Bunch told the story of a widower with 3 boys who marries a divorcee with 3 girls. The on-screen blending of these 2 sets of children was the basis for some of the series' best shows. The off-screen blending of these 6 children provided even more interesting stories.
This is Brady sex.
I know that we were 6 kids, 3 boys and 3 girls, stuck together with nothing but adults all around us for all those years. And we were interested in each other, absolutely, no question about it.
I'm 17, 18, and I think fair to say hormonally driven. I would walk by an interesting pattern of wallpaper sometimes, and I was excited. One question, always. Have you done Eve? Have you done Maureen? It's like, that's all that anybody wants to know.
For lack of other choices, we all got paired up.
I was in love with Susan. She was just my world, just the greatest thing.
We'd go into the tiger's doghouse to make out, and we didn't know how to kiss. Or, you know, we just hug each other, go, I love you, I love you.
When it became apparent that Eve Plum and Maureen McCormick were growing up, then, of course, you know, Susan was out of the picture, and I was after Eve.
Eve had now developed. She had breasts, and I was noticing it.
Well, Maureen and Eve wanted to go braless. Well, gosh, the show would be even more popular now in syndication if they had.
We had little tiny dressing rooms like that you could tow around. When we weren't working and we didn't have school, we'd hang out in there, and you know, kids will be kids. You leave them alone long enough, they'll do something wrong, believe me.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll were very prevalent. It was very accepted. It was very hip.
Robert Reed was generous enough to invite all the Brady Bunch kids to accompany him and to go together, basically as a family, to London. And we got to go on this ship, the QE2, the Queen Elizabeth II, beautiful ship out of New York. And I was thinking, great time to make some moves. Barry and I stayed in the cabin, and even Maureen stayed in the cabin. Well, Barry was definitely going to make something happen with Maureen on this ship. For me, a big part of that trip was just about, you know, how to orchestrate the whole thing around to where, you know, I might actually become her stateroom mate. Well, Maureen had to be alone in her room, which meant that I was alone in our room. Eve Plum, played Jan, had this tremendous crush on Christopher Knight, Peter. And so I was looking to see how I could use that to my advantage. They worked this whole thing out. They didn't need to involve me because, you know, I'm kind of like Mikey, you know. just he'll eat it. I mean, he'll eat anything. I'm just sitting there, you know, just like having things happen to me. I knocked on the door and I said, Eve, I think Chris wants to see you.
I'm sure I was quite thrilled at the time.
She jumps out, bolts out of there and over to my stateroom, which gave me entree to their stateroom.
I could guarantee you nothing happened.
She's nibbling on my ear and my neck.
Oh, see, now you've got a great better memory than I do.
So it was like, oh, I liked it. Maureen's asleep. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do then. And then I thought this idea dawned on me that I would just jump into her bunk. Maybe she wouldn't notice.
When it came down to it, I think that we were just too young to really, well, I was, you know, to really go through with anything. I
got in there and I hear this, Barry? And I said, shh, it's all right, it's all right. What in the heck are you doing? And I said, well, I just, well, didn't fly. Didn't fly. I was out of there.
Oh, look, Barry's back. No.
That was one of the last grand attempts.
In 1994, Barry Williams published a book about what it was really like growing up Brady. It revealed many shocking behind-the-scenes moments.